things, and obviously films like we have Indian some great Indian films like director Satyajit Ray. I really admire his work, and Ritik Ghatok. Actually he was a great film director, and so David Lynch, I really like David Lynch work. It's really mysterious, and I think I drawn towards mystery. I love things which has like something you can't really reveal, or you don't know what is going on. So yeah, I mean there's a long list.
Yep. Sounds like a long list, and that's a great thing that you have that many interests in everything. What are some of the things that you would tell young folks that want to get into photography, whether they're in your home country or whether they're around the world? But what are some of the advice that you would give to people about being a photographer? Is there a particular equipment that you think that they should automatically get? I know some people are more into Nikon products. Some people are more into Canon products, but I've also seen great photographs done with just a regular camera phone. And you mentioned that earlier, that sometimes some of your pictures are taken with your camera phone. So just in terms of in general, what advice would you give to not just young people, but anybody that wants to do photography? Because I mean, sometimes people start doing their work late in life. I know my dad is a photographer here in the area. His website is bambooturtle.com, but he mixes everything that you're talking about. It's kind of like artwork and combination of the nature stuff, but also people stuff. So I was just wondering what some of your thoughts are in terms of what you would advice you would give to folks, no matter their age, if they wanted to be photographers.
Um, I think if you want to be a photographer, just shoot daily. It's not. I mean, you can't be a photographer just to if you took some great workshop. You have to shoot daily and daily basis, and you have to develop your eyes. I think people think really too much. What should we do and what shouldn't we do? Uh, don't think much. I mean, just go out there or wherever you are, start shooting and develop your own eye. Don't follow. I mean, obviously, it's really important to see others' work and what is going on, but uh, don't influence by others. It's really good to inspire by it. Inspire and influence is really different things. So it's good to inspire by others' work, but don't influence by others' work. So that's the main thing. And equipment. See, I when I started photography, I didn't have my own camera, so I really don't care about what camera I have. Even I don't have iPhone, so it doesn't matter what you have. I think with a really low quality phone, you can take that. I mean, you can shoot that moment. So whatever you have, just if you want to document that moment, just document. So don't wait for the moment. If it's gone forever. So don't wait for that. Oh, I need a good camera. Oh, maybe tomorrow I can shoot. Don't wait. Maybe tomorrow that kind of sunlight. I mean, cannot be appear in your room. So in this quarantine life, I shoot even daily, daily basis, because I can't go out, but um, maybe after this lockdown, when this lockdown will end, I have to go out, and this situation I mean will gone forever. So whatever you are, whatever you do, just if you want to document that in your life and your surroundings, just do it.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's great advice just to actually document it and everything. I'm actually showing some of the pictures right now that you shot when you were in New York. If you got any comments about them, if you can see the shared screen, I'd love to hear your thoughts about what you were shooting, because it looks like you were definitely trying to capture just day-to-day life kind of things. It looks like this gentleman is it looks like he's adjusting a key. So maybe he's trying to either lock his building or come into his building. And as he's looking in, and you caught him doing that, and then course, we got people here looking at a large, looks like an advertisement while a building is going up a skyscraper. So looks like you were catching just day to day kind of lives and everything while you were there. So it looks like there was just a lot of things that you caught, and definitely looks like you play a lot with the light, because I was seeing a lot of these pictures that captured like the lights bouncing off of things. So, of course, there's a picture of, oh, it looks like you juxtaposed a couple of things, because that's Lady Liberty in the background. And then you've got these people that are kind of like you're seeing them almost as if they're in the water. So it looks like you did a little bit of juxtaposition as well. So I don't know
This
if you
is a
want to just.
reflection picture actually. When I was in boat towards Staten Island, so it's from the boat during golden hour, you can find the reflection. So yeah, then I took this picture.
Okay, wow. So that's actually the reflection of somebody off of the water, and then you got the
Not
Lady
the
Liberty in
water,
the
it's the
background.
window.
So that's really impressive that you were able to do that. And you also talked about how a lot of times the projects that you're involved in also involve things that you're involved in, and meaning things that you're going through. And I know that one of those, if you don't mind sharing that, is that you've been one of those people that have the sleep disorder. I may think it might be sleep apnea or something like that. But explain why that project is so important to you and how that came about.
Um, it just happened to me from childhood actually, but I didn't know what it's called. But though I watch many documentaries, and one day I found that one documentary from National Geography, and it's about sleep paralysis, and then I can recognize that. That is happening to me, and this is the same situation that I'm going on. And then I started documenting my sleep paralysis, you know and I sketched some of my dreams. It's not dream actually, in sleep paralysis phase. So when we sleep, our body and our mind switched off our ability to move. But in sleep paralysis stage, your mind actually is turn on the switch and your body don't. So it's a really difficult situation where you can't move, but your mind is working, so you can't open your eyes, and it's really scary. So many people, they have this disorder, but they don't want to um, talk about it, because most of the people who are not suffering from this problem, they don't understand. They don't want to believe that sleep paralysis is a true thing. And they always, even in my case, my family member, they were like, it's just a dream. But when I found out that video on National Geographic, and National Geographic's the name, and I believe, and then I started researching on sleep paralysis, and I get to know about so many things. And I did my research, and I started shooting my sleep paralysis experience, my feelings while I was in sleep paralysis. But the thing is that when I started shooting my sleep paralysis, it just stopped happening to me. So even it's an ongoing project, and I'm trying to develop my work on sleep paralysis. Yeah.
Wow. And another thing I've noticed about your photographs, and I'm actually pulled up some other ones and everything, is that sometimes I personally think that they always talk about journalists, whether they're print journalists or meaning the writers or the photographs, trying to be objective. But a lot of your photographs are very much poignant, and they talk about issues. And I was just wondering, what are your feelings on that when you're shooting something like an article about child labor in India and education, and how that's the key to abolish it? I mean, that's definitely a very much of opinion kind of thing. And the same thing with citizenship amendments that are a burning issue in your country. So I just wondering, when you're shooting, do you worry about objectivity if you're shooting like a news type story, or are you just trying to capture the essence of what that story is? And I imagine you probably have some very um, poignant opinions about some of these issues yourself. Just in our conversation in the last close to an hour, you've definitely expressed some issues that you're very poignant about and that you have different opinions about, whether it's the opinions about religion or the opinions about some of the political things that are going on and education. So I was just wondering, when you're shooting these photographs, how do you go about separating yourself from your feelings, or do you not even think about that?
So about the child education and the thing, when I started this project, I didn't know that it became a photo story. I just went to a village and I started shooting their daily activities. I follow the children in that village, and the children, they really very they became my friend. They really trust me, so I started following their daily life. But I realized that they have so many problems, in the small villages in India. Children, they really want to learn so many things, but they don't have the opportunities. It's really hard to see those situations. They want to be a doctor, they want to be a police, they have big dreams, but they don't have the opportunity. So I think as a storyteller, it's I wanted to, I wanted to document the story because, I care about the story that I can relate to. Even in my life, my family members, they thought that I'm a daughter, and I shouldn't be study really, high education. They really don't want me, but my dad, he fought for me. He was like, no, he is a daughter, so what, she can do these things. So I can relate to this children, and so I did this story, and it's still ongoing. Wherever I go, I always look for the issues that you know I wanted to tell this story, and that's how I document this project.
Yep, definitely. You did a great job. And like I said, it's an issue that's not just there in India, but I mean, child labor and child things like that are things that are faced throughout the world. I mean, even here in the United States, there are some places where child labor is still being an issue. And of course, we have the issue with our migrant workers, a lot of our Latin American workers, and some of them are children, and some of them are even being attempts to be deported and stuff like that. There's a whole conversation around the dreamers and things of that nature. So definitely, it's a very important issue that is even worldwide, and definitely something that we need to be concerned about. Now, I have a friend of mine who's on the show before, a comedian, Mona Shakes. And she, in her routine and also just in our conversation, was talking about one of the other things that's a stereotype of Indian everything, and she actually was making jokes about it because she's a comedian. But that's that whole concept of arranged marriage and things of that nature. Have you done any photographs around that, and is that still an issue there in the country? Is that something that the folks that are like the feminists are fighting against and everything? Because I do know that historically that's been an issue where they're trying to set you up with the doctor and have the more that traditional woman role and everything of being the homemaker, or that's kind of what her joke was about and everything. But I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that, because like I said, she made a whole routine about how she really disappointed her parents when she became a comedian, because they wanted her to go off to college, get educated, and then possibly marry the doctor and or the lawyer.
I mean, in India, it's different case. You know, uh, Family, they want their, first of all, they don't want any daughter child. I mean, a daughter. It's just that. But even in my family, they didn't want me. But my mom and dad, they really fought for me. Uh, Against all odd. And so that's the first reason. They don't want to. They don't want a daughter. They think that son is everything, and he will do good stuff. But you know, but things are changing day by day, because people are now realizing that